comes in hot. What's up, y'all? I don't know why I do this. I feel like I'm fanning myself. Yeah. Maybe I'm showing off my nails. I don't know. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why I do half the damn shit I do. Nervous tics and shit. I've played this before, but it's worth another spin. I kept spinning this over and over the other day, and a non-metal friend stopped by, and I didn't turn it off. Yeah. What we got today, Cat? Get over here. Let's go look at that comment over there. Wow. Hi, Cattleprod. Hi, Diesel D7E. Diesel? I don't know. What's up? I was spammed you by the algorithm because you talked about autism in one of your videos, which I love, by the way. Cheers. I don't mind a bit of metal, and I'm thoroughly enjoying today's offering, but what's really surprised me is you're some kind of libertarian. Not trying to put words in your mouth, not assuming you're into Ron Paul and Murray Rothbard, but I'm actually drifting back in that direction myself. Okay, libertarian, like non-conformity with Ralph Waldo Emerson and Hibbert David Thoreau, that's all like stepping stones in my life. Like I had Emerson and Thoreau, and then I had Rothbard and some of the libertarian, Ron Paul to a certain extent, and then that Lysander Spinner. But I had that as I was growing up. Then later I had, I don't know, whatever the fuck I had. I'll tell you what, I've had a steady diet of death metal. I'll tell you that. Fucking evil army. Yeah, that's a fucking bad need to be listening to, y'all. Diesel continues. The non-aggression principle plus property rights means we all interact peacefully and keep our mitts to ourselves. That's the hope. There's always 1,000 stupid excuses to try to persuade us a little bit of initiatory violence is only for the greater good, but in the end, things are all really black and white. Yeah, 1,000 excuses why they persuade us to have a little bit of violence. Yeah, when they get us into riots and shit, mostly peaceful protests. Yeah. But I'm going to continue on over here. You were talking in this video about the freedom and respect were common among metal people. Well, that's the hope. I've not hung around in metal circles or any circles for a long time, but I found that most humans tend to be either stupid government-loving shitlibs, easy on the language, or stupid flag-waving conservatives. This certainly includes musicians, many of whom were commies. Well, I don't think it's as many as you think it is. I don't think it's as many as you think it is. The people who get propped up, there's not as many of them as you think. But I will tell you what, if the message of liberty is running through the metal community, then that's just another excellent reason to break out the devil horns and pretend I still grow hair. I can still grow hair. Keep up the good work, boss. Hatred is my muse. Hatred is your muse. That's awesome. Yeah, and then villain, but the A is a 4. But villain, join us. Yes, there are 100% pods of unsavory metalheads, but any subculture has that good or bad. Yeah, it's the good and bad. Yeah, I mean, that's just groups of people. I mean, Diesel, you already said it yourself. You know it's just groups of people. You get groups of people. You get unsavory people every now and then. It's just a percentage of us that are just going to be rotten to the core at all times. And remember, shitbags pull people down. Shitbag, you don't elevate yourself around a shitbag. A shithead's just going to keep bringing you down to his level. You got to get away from that shit. You got to get away from the negativity. You got to get a more positive. PMA. Anybody remember PMA? Nah, y'all probably too damn young. Positive mental attitude. I was a youngster when I first heard that one. Positive mental attitude. You got to think positive, dude. Do positive things. Sit around calling each other names is not a good start. So I just hate when people say, like, calling someone stupid, to me, one of the greatest worst things you can do. One of the worst thing you can do is underestimate somebody. Never underestimate your opponent. Never underestimate how cunning and smart they are, and how dangerous they can actually be when cornered. Never underestimate people. And when you say stupid, you're underestimating them. You're saying stupid, you're saying they're below me. And say, oh, you're stupid. No, don't do that. That guy's gonna kick your ass. Because you're now thinking, he can't harm me, he can do nothing to me. Only a fool says that shit. But yeah, you may be government loving. Well, there are government lovers out there. And just dumbass flag wavers. Yes, we all know them. We call it Sunshine Patriots. They're Sunshine Patriots. Where the hell were they? I'm telling you all, I'm waving that flag, but they're all like, oh, I don't like where this is going. They don't like it. Yeah, it's really about to not like it. Apparently in November, some alien spacecraft is going to arrive at Earth. I hope that's true. I hope that's even somewhat true. Tony, E8, E1Q. Tony, you know who you are. I love you too, man. I love you too, man. You're cool, bro. You're cool. Say something else, though. I get that you love me. Tony, just talk, man. Just say anything you want, man. You know, I'll bring you up in the comments like I bring up everybody else. Well, everybody else that I read from. It's weird, I don't read all the damn comments. Alright, and now into the big one. Let's see if we can do this. We got TCL back in the comments. Always awesome. Okay, here we go. Oh, but first, fluids. That's what you're listening to. Now, I think we've mostly agreed on most issues, but I am curious as to why you're opposed to money. He means me. As a concept, I 100% agree against being against fiat currency. Good, glad to have you on the team. Issued by the feds, it's only backed by their lizard brains. But, so yeah, when you have a gold-backed economy, your money is limited by how much gold you have. If you got $10 in gold, that's all you got. So fiat currency kind of like, it's made up. It's not backed by anything. It just is. And they found out that they can actually increase the money supply. That's more printed dollars. How many printed dollars are in existence? They can increase the money supply by lending money. So I can these banks can make, and when they're lending money, they're not talking about you and me to go buy a car. They're talking about like other countries so they can build massive structures, you know. And some of those third world countries, they always build like temples to their dictators or whatever. Here in America, they just build ungodly, stupid shit. So the money supply is how many bills are in existence, and they are like, oh, I'll lend you this money so you can build this thing. But it also creates inflation when they do that. But that's okay because they counter inflation with interest rate, which means on interest rate means you have to pay for that money that they've been printing. They've been printing it and charging you for it. You have to pay them back. That's the interest rate. It's a loan. It's a loan on creating money. Do you ever wonder who the fuck's lending American money? Everybody's like, oh, the Chinese. Nah, that's a small percentage. The Japanese own a bigger percentage. But a person could, don't do it now, but you could buy the debt, buy the U.S. debt. It was bonds, U.S. bonds. You could buy them. And as we paid the debt, you got paid back. And a lot of really, really rich people, you ever wonder about them politicians that, they have a $100,000 a year job, and then they have like $50 million by the time they retire? How do you think they're doing that? They're getting those bonds. Don't do it anymore because those things are collapsing because nobody's paying their bills anymore. Good job, y'all. Keep it up. So yeah, so gold, your money is finite. Fiat currency, your money is infinite. They just print more. But you notice it gets worth less when they do that. So it comes to a tipping point. Either that system has to reverse itself and just cut a new node, or they have to find a new system of barter, which would be either gold, precious metals, or just a new fiat currency. Which one are we going to get? We're going to get one of them because this one's going to collapse. It's going away. Social Security is going away. That's a damn Ponzi scheme. Anyways, back over to TLC's comment. I don't necessarily... Okay, But when the world collapses and everyone is inevitably forced to go ANCAP, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with people starting up their own currencies that can compete with other currencies and also compete with the traditional barter and trade. That's a good idea. Starting your own currency, what are you going to base it on? It can only be, then you get money changers and money lenders. This happened in Europe a long time ago when every single country in Europe had its own currency. It created a little bit of a trade nightmare. And people made a lot of money off speculation and shit like that. Jesus also whipped the money changers that were working in the temple, which is a major no-no. Just imagine going into your church and there's a banker. It's fucking weird. Anyways, people are going to inevitably form their smaller communities and whatnot. Why make trade easier by implementing a currency that would act as a universal good that everyone in the community recognized? Well, we're agreeing on a currency system now. If a particular person doesn't want to buy into that currency, he or she can voluntarily opt out just to trade and barter instead. Yes, giving people that don't want to use more than one method of payment. You can do this one, your communal one, and this one, this national one. Honestly, TCL, I think we're heading to something like that. I think there will be two systems of it, and I think that's the only way to get around the banks is to the central banks is to let them continue to exist, but offer another system that people can use. And most people, just out of ease, will continue to use the one they know. But the younger people get, they'll be more likely to try a new thing, which is why crypto is such a hot button thing. Is it worth anything? Don't give me a fuck crypto, but the idea that crypto has is it's a new currency. You can trade it for things. That is an important message that young people get. And they started planting that knowledge into us a few years before they do it. It's called predictive programming. So with cryptocurrency, I wouldn't worry about it. It's predictive programming. I mean, if you're making money off of it, good on you. But the rest of us are just not going to play this game. I'd rather wait for the new rule set to come out. When the U.S. economy's new edition comes out, yeah, this is the things we need to see. Could be as simple as using small chunks of gold or something to trade with. Yeah, he's just giving an example of a currency. I don't see the issue if it's all voluntary and controlled by the people in the community. I just realized this has no relevance to the video topic at all. You're fine, dude. I'm interested in religion and that sort of thing. I'm a Christian after all. I just want to ponder on my opinions before commenting on such. You're totally welcome to, bro. Yeah. Talk shit back to the Satanists, man. They fucking love it. Talk back to the pagans. I do it all the fucking time. I'm like, your ancestors kneeled before a cross. They didn't die gloriously in battle. If they did, you would have not been here. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Hey man, they want to start off with their fucking anti-Christian talk. The Christians should be able to fucking talk shit about their fucking pagan gods. Turnabout's fair play. And then everybody talks about that one religion that we're not going to actually talk about. That'll get me taken down. So, TCL, myself, I am of the thing, I really don't care about a system of trade. I really don't care. People will figure it out. My idea is people will figure it out. You will figure out. If you really, really, really want the thing, you'll figure out how to get it. If you really want to do the thing, you'll figure out how to get it. I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to force things on people. I like things to happen organically. And I agree with you. Like, there should be more than one option. I shouldn't have to just use like standard Federal Reserve, fucking fiat monopoly money. I shouldn't be forced to just use that. You can just use crypto. I'm not fucking using crypto, dude. Do not get me started on that shit. It's fucking ridiculous. It's another Ponzi scheme, but the idea is important. I don't know. What do y'all think in the comments down below? Would you like to see a new currency? What if it meant you got paid less an hour? But what if it meant that same dollar, bought you more? Like, in the 1960s, those Kennedy silver dollars. I have a few hidden around here somewhere. They were made of actual silver, and it was $1. It was $1 worth of silver at the time. That same dollar's worth of silver is like $16 now. That's like $16. I would love to get paid $1 an hour and it be one of those. I'd love for them to just clank down those coins in my hand. It's like, oh, here's your day's work, and just clank down one of those in my hand, like, woo. I mean, that's $16 an hour. It's not great, but imagine with $16 an hour, you know, you go to the grocery store and literally buy all the food you need for like weeks. You're like, let's buy a gallon of milk, some bread, some peanut butter, some meat, some veggies. It's like, yeah, it'll be $5. Be like, whoa, I'm going to use this coin and get change. Yeah, I'd like that to happen. I'd like that to happen. Not this bullshit now. $5 footlongs at Subway are like, there's only like a few of them now. They used to be like, oh, yeah, never mind. Money doesn't buy shit. If you look at what the US dollar could buy before 1913 and then watch the line from 1913, it's like its value goes straight down. Well, not straight down. It has a couple times it comes up, then it goes back down. That's a president fucking with you. When you see those things, I'm going to do something for the economy and the working man. They'll make that fucking thing rise up until everybody's good and happy, and then they'll just fucking bring it back down, and most people don't even know. They're like, oh, a terrorist attack. Oh, a hurricane. And then it'll go back down and never recover. Fuck, man. If you look at the history and look at the notes and watch those graphs and know when in history these things were, I think one of the biggest slots downward was when Nixon put us on the petrodollar. And the petrodollar basically determined what the wealth of the US dollar would be. And why it was worth that is because all petrochemical trades, that is oil, y'all, petrochemical, so it's anything after, anything that oil is. Because they break it down and get different things out of it. They break it down and get gasoline and different polymers and shit like that. So any trade of those things had to be done in the US dollar. That's why the U.S. was doing so damn well. Even though everything was going down, the U.S. just seemed to be slightly ahead of everybody else. Why? It was that damn trade. As long as petrochemical trade kept going and we kept paying our debts, U.S. debt, the interest rates, as long as we kept paying it, our economy was doing good. And then some countries, BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia. They all decided to no longer use the US dollar as a trade on petrochemical products. So they started divesting themselves of the dollar and the petrochemical trade business. What does that mean? It means they had those bills in their pockets and they were making trades with them. Well, they don't need them anymore. So they gave them back to the US Treasury. Here's your money back. With all that money coming back, there's now a bigger money supply in the Treasury. We now have more bills than we need. So we have a surplus of them. That's inflation. Anybody wonder why that inflation happened? Right after BRICS announcement, when they stood in front of the UN and said, we're not doing that. Goodbye, US. You have until this time. We're divesting ourselves, and you have until this time, and then we're out of here. That time has only sort of been crossed. We're watching on the Iraqi bank now to see when it's going to take off. And the Iraqi dinar, I'd watch that one. That's the one that's probably going to shoot up the fastest because they're going to trade so much in petrochemical. Only thing the U.S. can do is just produce more petrochemical products than them, and our dollar will do better than the dinar. You're kind of in a civil war of finances right now. If you've ever wondered why things seem strange at the grocery store or anywhere else where you're spending money, like why does money not feel the same anymore? You're in an economic civil war with 5 nations versus the U.S. And the U.S. is not doing what it needs to do to solve this problem. So, there's some civics lesson for you today. That's kind of where you are now. Well, financially speaking. And the Federal Reserve is having a tough time because they need to pull all that money out of the money supply. And too much of it, then you pull it back, they had to raise the interest rates, and that's when everything started getting shitty. The one thing they should have done was start producing more petrochemical products and easing back on some of the regulations. But that was President Biden, and he didn't do that. He pretty much okayed well, I mean, he couldn't say anything about it, but when Powell decided to up the interest rates, Biden was like, whatever. And Trump, like, it seems like he should be doing more. Claiming it looked like he was going to. It just kind of feels like he's not doing enough. I don't know. There was that backslap the other day that was fucking hilarious. But it's like, can you hurry this process up? It's literally getting rough out there. Anyways. Yeah. Gay Nazis. Does anybody... Gay Nazis. Not this. That's from a previous video. Watch the previous video. We talked about gay Nazis. You're listening to something completely different, which is called Fluids. Fluids 2. It just got laid. It's like Mortician and hip-hop. Something. It's fucking amazing. Kat, you got anything you want to add? Nah, we're good. Y'all take care. All right, yo. Counterprod, Appalachian Warlord. See you later.